long-standing overlaps between design and the field of futures, including foresight and scenarios and so on. I think what's interesting at the moment is where big data intersects with that, where there are near real-time large data sets of different kinds, both sort of data out there in the wild as well as data produced through organisations doing stuff routinely, as well as environmental data gathering and the built environment and so on. Those three things coming together is a really interesting space. Both design and foresight are about visioning, exploring futures and so on, and they have different methodologies, but quite a lot of overlap, maybe different languages, some methods that seem remarkably similar, but then some different emphases, you could say. I would say scenarios and foresight are more about sort of panoramic overviews and sort of situating the organisation as a change maker, whereas design foregrounds the experiences of individuals as individual actors who might be stakeholders or customers or bystanders or service providers, and also the experience of people who are involved in organisational action, giving them through co-design and participatory approaches opportunities to co-construct futures and assess those together. So they already have many overlaps, really, and there's a new journal which is exploring those intersections directly, and a number of interesting practitioners. What's interesting is when that intersects with the whole move to data science, to the gathering of large data sets, to real-time analysis, and then predictive modelling about how people might behave, which is very data-based, where the analytical stuff is done through algorithms and in relation to bodies of knowledge which are perhaps less experiential. That intersection is a really interesting space that I am beginning to explore. What I recommend to students graduating from master's programs like MAIM or other design-like programs is to go get a job where you're not necessarily called a futurist or a designer, but you're perhaps running a service or you have responsibility for delivering a program, and then bring that capability and that way of thinking about change into an organisation trying to do things and achieve outcomes of different. So find something that matters to you, whether that's in healthcare or public administration or food or whatever it is. Find something that matters to you and then go work in that and bring that capability into it, rather than necessarily joining a design firm or a futures firm or a horizon scanning firm. Because I think the encounter between your knowledge and your orientation to the future and to change and to innovation will be confronted with a whole load of people who might resist that or challenge it or might be great partners. So you will learn a great deal from trying to bring that your skill and your understanding into organisational action that might be challenging for your way of thinking. And so it's, I sort of would say, throw yourself into something hard. Partly because the world needs it. It's a very difficult time at the moment in lots of different ways. So just serving large technology companies to think about new features for mobile phones and so on, while it might be exciting, and it is exciting to work with incredibly clever software engineers and so on, but actually the kinds of changes we need are probably not at that level. So go to where things are complex and uncertain and conflicted, whether that's in the commercial space or an NGO space. Go and work there, and that would be a really interesting place to learn and embrace that liminality.